One of the big problems with entrepreneurs who have been successful over, let's say, 10 or 20 years is they start getting very, very heavy. It's almost like they're starting to carry around an enormous amount of experience from the past, and they feel kind of old. They feel kind of tired because they've got all these experiences. Some of them good experiences, some of them bad experiences, and a lot of complexity, perhaps a lot of frustration. There could have been defeats, there could have been failures, but they don't make any differentiation among all this experience. And as a result, they just have this huge amount, almost like bags and bags full of, almost garbage bags full of experience. And this prompts them to slow down. Anytime they would contemplate doing something new, they said, yeah, but I have to move all my bags of experience. It's going to weigh me down. And so one of the most important things about having a better future is making sure you have a better past. And what do I mean by that? Well, first of all, not everything from your past is useful if you're going to create a bigger future. As a matter of fact, there are only certain things that are actually useful from your past as it relates to jumping to a much higher level of performance and results. But the first thing that you have to do before you can make any judgment about your past experience is that you actually have to commit yourself to a much bigger and better goal than what you're achieving right now. And so you're choosing a future. You're actually, right from the inside of your imagination, right from the inside of your enthusiasm, you're actually creating an entirely new future in your mind. And the more that you can visualize yourself actually being in that future, all of a sudden, you have a future vantage point for looking back at everything you've done up until the present moment, and you ask yourself, of everything that I've done since I became an entrepreneur, what gets to come along? See, a lot of people say what gets left behind, but that's not really interesting, because if you just identify what gets to come along, the rest of the stuff will just disappear anyway, because you've just devalued it. And you don't have to think about it anymore. You don't have to spend any time on it. And what I notice is that there are only certain things, 4 things in particular, that actually are worth bringing along into your entrepreneurial future. If you're going to make a bigger future, there's just 4 things. And the first one is all the commitments that you made to grow in the past. Those you bring along. Okay, because that's where all growth for entrepreneurs actually starts. It starts with commitment. The second thing is all the examples of courage in the past where you actually visualized a big jump in your performance and results, and you moved forward before you had any evidence that this was going to pay off. So risk, it's actually risk, where you make investments which at the time you make them feel scary. Okay, those get to come along. Every time you created a new capability, where either in terms of your own abilities, in terms of people that you hire, people on your team, new technologies, new knowledge, new information, new strategic alliances, new opportunities. Anytime that you created a new capability, that gets to come along. And the fourth one is every time that your confidence took a big jump, and you remember those wins that you had, you remember those breakthroughs that you had, and all of those get to come along. So we call these the 4 C's: the commitment, courage, capability, and confidence. And as far as I'm concerned, for any entrepreneur, that's the only thing that is worth bringing along to a bigger and better future. And I find that when entrepreneurs use this as their standard for going back and looking at their past, what happens is that they get very lightweight. All of a sudden, they become much younger. It's almost like they get to retain all the knowledge that they've gained from their entrepreneurial success, but they get to start over again. It's almost like going back to the starting line again, but you're at such a higher level, and you've got all this knowledge, you have all this experience, and you're so much more capable and so much more confident about what you're doing. And isn't that the perfect way to start a jump towards a bigger and better future? But again, I want to remind you that until you actually tell yourself what that bigger and better future is, you don't have any way of discovering what's valuable in your past and all those things which don't make any sense whatsoever to bring along. And it's a marvelous, marvelous way to always approach the future in a new and fresh way.